Lagos State High Court on Thursday ordered that Chidimma Ojukwu's co-suspects to enter defense over the allegations of criminal conspiracy and killing of Super TV CEO, Michael Usifo Ataga on June 16, 2021 when the deceased media personnel had love-making moments with the then 21-years-old Chidimma Ojukwu, who made 3 separate confessional statements. These: 1. She single-handedly stabbed Ataga to death. 2. She unintentionally stabbed Ataga to death in self-defense during a fight. And 3. She knows nothing about Ataga's death, saying she went out of the hotel room to buy something, only to come back and met the Super TV CEO lifeless with bloodstains in the hotel room. Though the prime suspect, Chidimma Ojukwu, did not make any submission when the case came up on Thursday, but the second and third defendants for Usifo Ataga murder case, Chidimma Ojukwu and Adedayo Quadri, on Thursday presented a no-case submission to court, demanding that the court should dismiss all charges against them. But the prosecution team opposed the application, stating that they have presented full evidence to court that implicated the DAO. Chidimma Ojukwu and Adedayo Quadri have been in prison since 2021 when police brought up allegations that show they are fully involved in the murder of Ataga Usifo. Justice Yetunde Adesanya of the Lagos State High Court, sitting at the Tafawa Balewa Square on Thursday, ordered the 2 Chidimma Ojukwu's co-suspects to open their defense. She and Quadri are facing the first to 8 counts bordering on conspiracy, murder, and stabbing, while her sister, Ojukwu, is facing the 9th count of stealing an iPhone 7 belonging to the late Ataga. The 2 were alleged to have conspired and murdered Ataga on June 16, 2021, by stabbing him several times with a knife in the neck and chest. The incident occurred at number 19 Adewale Ocean Street, Lekki Phase 1, Lagos. According to Punch newspaper, at the resumed hearing of the trial on Thursday, the second and third defendants, who had earlier filed a no-case submission challenging the trial, asked the court to dismiss all charges against them. The second defendant's counsel, Babatunde Busari, and the third defendant's counsel, M.I. Otuaka, argued that the prosecution had failed to establish any material evidence for their clients to enter defense in the case. In his response to the application, the state's prosecution, Yusuf Sule, objected to the submission and urged the court to dismiss the second defendant's no-case submission application. He said, the prosecution has put forward material evidence linking the second defendant to the charges against him. We call upon him to enter his defense. In response to the third defendant's application, the prosecution filed a response on November 27, 2024, as per argument in response to this case. We urge the court to dismiss the application for a no-case submission, as the prosecution has established material evidence of a stolen phone in the case. We, however, call upon the third defendant to enter her defense. Justice Yetunde Adesanya, founder of Sahara Reporters News Network, Omoyele Sowore, and Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Tuesday took to social media to throw jabs or insults, criticisms at each other after EFCC refused to mention the names of the ex-top government official who was allegedly linked with the 753 houses. Federal High Court in Abuja ordered the property's final forfeiture to federal government, and the exchange of words forced Sowore to make public court affidavit, which EFCC investigative officers sworn before the court on November 21, 2024, and alleged that the 753 houses were probably acquired by the former Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, apparently from the kickbacks he was fraudulently collecting from the Apex Bank contractors, with close working with Zenith Bank Deputy General Manager Ifeanyi Collins Omeke to acquire the properties. EFCC investigative officers said that the commission became aware of the properties when they searched the office of the Zenith Bank Deputy General Manager Ifeanyi Collins Omeke and found title documents of the properties in his office. Verbatim, the EFCC investigative officers said, I, Idi Musa, Mel, Nigerian and investigating officer of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, 301 300 Seconds Institution and Research District, Jabi. Abuja, do solemnly and sincerely make oath and state as follows: that I am one of the operatives of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission assigned to investigate the damning intelligence report received by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission in respect of monumental fraudulent activities perpetrated by some senior officers of the Central Bank of Nigeria, through which huge sums of money were fraudulently converted and transferred for personal use. That I have the consent and authority of the Executive Chairman, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, to depose to the affidavit in support of this application. That by virtue of my position as one of the investigating officers assigned to investigate the said intelligence report, I am well conversant with the fact of this case, having derived my knowledge of the same in the course of my investigations. That I know as a fact, and I verily believe as follows: A. That the Commission, whilst investigating the alleged monumental fraud carried out by the immediate past Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and his cronies, traced and discovered several properties reasonably suspected to have been acquired and or developed with proceeds of unlawful activities. B. That the property highlighted in Schedule A to this application is one of the said properties recovered, having been reasonably suspected to have been acquired, developed with proceeds of unlawful activities. That in the course of this investigation, it was revealed that the erstwhile CBN governor negotiates kickbacks in return for allocation of foreign exchange to some companies who were in desperate need of foreign exchange for their lawful and legitimate businesses. D. That our investigation equally revealed that erstwhile CBN governor received kickbacks from some contractors who were awarded contracts by the central lawmakers in South Korea. On Wednesday, submitted a bill for the impeachment of President Yoon Suk Yeol for declaring martial law on Tuesday night, invading National Assembly complex with massed martial law military troops to stop rapes from overturning or overruling the declaration. But the ruling People Power Party (PPP) held an emergency meeting later on Wednesday and resolved to unite and stand as huddle against the call for Yoon's impeachment. Local media reported that the decision to stand as huddle to the opposition party's lawmakers' impeachment notice against Yoon was made at a meeting of the ruling PPP lawmakers, who endorsed the party's position of opposing President Yoon's impeachment, according to Seoul-based Yonhap News Media. According to local media, Yoon had earlier met with Prime Minister Han Duck-soo and other PPP leaders on Wednesday to discuss future strategy after opposition parties filed an impeachment motion in response to the brief martial law declaration late Tuesday evening and Wednesday early morning night. Political observers in South Korea said that the impeachment motion must receive a 2/3 majority in parliament to be approved. The opposition will need 8 votes from ruling party lawmakers out of the 300 lawmakers in the National Assembly to pass the bill. Yoon's declaration of martial law is a clear violation of the Constitution, the Democrats' party wrote in a resolution seeking Yoon's impeachment, according to the South Korean news agency, Yonhap. This is a serious act of rebellion and a perfect reason for impeachment, the Democrats stated. For the impeachment to take effect, lawmakers now have 24 to 72 hours to vote on whether to oust the president. Notably, no PPP lawmakers supported the impeachment motion, though the head of the party expressed exasperation with the martial law decree on Tuesday.
Bringing you the news in a more digital way.